Welcome to the fourth video for Excel automation series with Tosca. So in this we are going to be talking about this third section only, and specifically we are going to understand that if there is an existing Excel file, how do we search, how do we verify, how do we put a constraint, how do we update the data, and all those sort of operations. Okay, so let's get started. I have downloaded one file from the internet which contains some sample data which is called as sale data XLSX, and we are going to perform our operations on this particular file. Okay, so let me get started with step by step how we need to do this. So first we are going to use the module called workbook, so I can search with workbook. So first thing is tbox open excel workbook. In case you want to learn about this, you can take a look at my previous videos as well. So we will put some reference name here. We can write data search, anything is fine. This is just a name definition. Here we need to mention the exact path where our file is located. So my file is located on the desktop. I've created a folder, so I'll put that here. Plus we have to mention the file name. So my file name is sale data dot xlsx. Okay, and since this is not a new file generation, we are going to pass the parameter as false because it is an existing file. Okay, so this particular first step is going to form the connection with the workbook. That is the first step. Now second thing is we have to search for this module called define excel range. Okay, we'll understand why this is needed. So first thing is, when you take a look at any workbook, right, the workbook will have worksheet. So we have to define the worksheet as well, and then we define the range as well, from which range to which range we are going to work. So we'll talk about that. But here in both of these worksheets we have data. Maybe I can take this worksheet sale data. Okay, so here first in the workbook name I need to define the exact same name because this will reference to the file. So I'll put this here, and in the worksheet name I'll define the worksheet name which is present inside my workbook. Okay, so it is like sale data. Okay. Now the range name is basically defining the range inside the Excel, from which location to which location. You can put any name here. I'll put just range here, and if you go to data range, it will showcase start cell and end cell. What do we mean by that is from where we want to start. So if we use this is A1. If let's say I want to work from this to this, so it will be A1 to H22. Okay, now let's say I want to work with the all the data here, so it is going to be A1 to H44. Okay, now if we whatever range we define, we'll be able to work only with that particular range. If I'm performing any operation outside this, I'll not be able to perform, as you would have seen in the previous videos as well. Okay, so we have done the second step. Now the third step would be to perform the manipulation. So tbox excel range manipulation is what we are going to use. These all are standard modules which you'll find in your Tosca standard module subset. Now here the range name needs to be same because here the definition has happened, and now that name can be used as a reference anywhere in the script. So if I put range here, now I get these details to work with the data. Okay, now the data table obviously is going to just contain row and cell. So first thing is, let's say I want to search something. Okay, in this particular thing, let's say unit 95 is there, and if I do a control F, let's see. Okay, this is just one record here. Okay, now you would have noticed, or if you have worked with Tosca automation with web tables, you will see that the columns get populated with whatever column names are there. This we are referencing, and we are not scanning this file right now, so we are not able to see that, so we have to manually put it in. Okay, so whatever the column names are there on the top, you can define in the cell section. So here we are going to just perform a scenario in which, let's say, the unit is 95, and we are going to validate that it is actually picking up the right salesman name or not. Okay, so we are going to search as well as verify. Okay, so here I'll put units here. So I'll just rename this to units. Bad units, and I will put the value here as 95. Okay, now I want to search based on this, so I'll pass it as a constraint. In case you're not aware about constraint, this is a keyword which will only search with this particular data in this particular Excel. Okay, now since it has located this, now I want to verify if salesman is Alexander as it shows in the file or not. Okay, so I'll again use that column salesman. Okay, and I'll perform a verification here. Okay, so we can exactly copy this, so I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here. Okay, now here you notice you don't have to define the row, because this is a constant, this is a verification, it is going to go and perform this operation, and since this is unique, it is going to work. Okay, so let's close this file, because this is going to perform that operation on that file, so it needs to be closed. So this is a basic script in which we are actually searching for this and we are verifying it. So by default we are searching for this, we are putting a constant and we are doing a verification. So let's see if this actually works or not. So let me run this. So just to quickly reiterate, it is opening the workbook, it is forming the connection. Okay, some issue has happened, let me see, maybe some mistake in the path. Okay, sale data.xlsx. Okay, my bad. I have made the mistake, a small mistake here in the extension. Okay, let's rerun this. So it will form a connection with the workbook, and then it will go to the worksheet, and then it is going to search with that particular constraint and is going to verify if the salesman name is same. Okay, so this is successfully done. Let's take a look at the result. So if you go in this, see, our verification was successful. So we were looking for the salesman name as Alexander and we found it as Alexander. Now let's say I want to maybe update this data, right? So I can update this data as well. So let's say I want to put, instead of Alexander, let's say I want to put it as something else, maybe John or something. Okay, so I will pass it as a input here. Okay, and but if I'm performing a update operation here, as we have talked in the previous videos as well, we have to close the workbook as well, right? Which is going to save the operation. Otherwise, this change will happen and it will be in the memory, but if the file is not getting saved, we will not be able to see the changes. Okay, so in that case, we have to add that particular step as well. So I'll click on search and add step, and I'll look for the standard module of closing Excel workbook. So tbox close Excel workbook. Okay, and we need to define the exact same name here. So data search, I'll put here. Okay, in the path we need to mention the path where the file is located. So I'll just copy this. We don't need to mention the file name. If you want we can, but if you want we can avoid as well. So I'll just remove this. Okay, in the case of save section, I'll just pass the parameter as true and I'll close this, and we will run. This time we are updating the data, so let's see if it is working fine or not. Okay, so our script is successful, but we'll be able to validate that this has worked or not by opening the file. So let's go to this file, and here you see where the unit is 95, my salesman name has got updated from Alexander to John here. Okay, so this is also working fine. So we understood about how to search, how to verify, how to update, and yes, as well as buffer. We can just take a look at one more parameter just to understand this. So let's see the item name. We can probably buffer that value. So I'll just put item here, item. Okay, and here in the action mode I can put it as buffer, and maybe I can put item name. Okay, and since we have already updated John, maybe I can put that as a constraint, and this is going to buffer television in the buffer name. Okay, so let me close this file and rerun this. Now some of you might have this question that what's the point of updating one data separately? We can easily open the Excel and do it, right? So basically this I'm showcasing just how to make the operations do, but you can see it is working fine. Item name has been set to television. But let's say you want to perform some repeated operations. You can use loops here, you can use repetitions, you can increase the row numbers, get the column count, all those kind of things, operations you can perform accordingly. But this gives you an idea about how to search, how to verify, how to update. If it is part of your integration scenarios, it is going to solve all those problems. If you like this video, do like, share and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.